ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ. ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸಿ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸನ್ನು ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಒಂದು ಸಾರಿ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾನ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿಮೇಷನ್ ಬೈ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸಿ ಮೆಥಡ್ x1 is equal to a into f of b minus b into f of a divided by f of b minus f of a. This is the first approximation. Okay, let me go through the problem. Number 4. ಒಂದು ಸರಿ ನೀವೇ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Problem number 4. Use regular falsi method to find a real root of the equation 2x minus log x to the base 10 is equal to 7, which lies between 3.5 and 4. Given equation is 2x minus log x to the base 10 is equal to 7. Transfer 7 to left hand side. We get 2x minus log x to the base 10 minus 7. This is of the form f of x is equal to 0. Answer: let f of x is equal to 2x minus log x to the base 10 minus 7. The initial approximations are given 3.5 and 4. The root lies between these two. Select which check. The root, remember, the root always lies between any two successive values of x have an opposite signs. Just be sure that f of 3.5 is negative or positive and f of 4 is positive or negative. Put x is equal to 3.5 in above f of x. Therefore, f of x is equal to f of 2.35 minus log x is equal to 3.5 base 10 minus 7 is equal to minus 0.5441. It is negative. Put x is equal to 4. F of 4 is equal to 2 into 4 minus log 4 to the base 10 minus 7 is equal to plus 0.3979. It is positive greater than 0. Let a is equal to 3.5 lower limit, b is equal to 4 is the upper limit of the interval, and f of a is negative, f of b is positive. So these two have an opposite signs, that is f of 3.5 is negative, f of 4 is positive. Therefore, these two have an opposite signs. By regular falsi method, the first approximation is given by x1 is equal to a into f of b minus b into f of a divided by f of b minus f of a. Call it as equation 1. Substitute for a and b. x1 is equal to 3.5 into f of 4 minus 4 into f of 3.5 divided by f of 4 minus f of 3.5. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಡಿನಾಮಿನೇಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಓವರ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್. That is f of 4 minus f of 3.5. Now you substitute for f of 4 and f of 3.5. Therefore, x1 is equal to 3.5 of 0.3979 minus 4 into minus 0.5441 whole divided by 0.3979 minus of minus plus 0.4541. Just you draw a line showing that mark A is equal to 3.5, B is equal to 4, f of A is negative, just I shown A negative, and f of B is positive, just I shown B plus. These two have an opposite signs. Therefore, root x1 is equal to 3.79. Definitely it is lies between these two. Let it be x1. x1 is equal to 3.79. Okay. F of x1 is equal to f of 3.79 is equal to 2 into 3.79 minus log 3.79 base 10 minus 7 is equal to plus 0.00136. It is positive. F of A is equal to f of 3.5 is negative, and f of x1 is equal to f of 3.79 is positive. So you observe that line. So this b, f of b is plus, f of x1 is plus, therefore b is, that is, a is, f of a is negative. So f of b, f of x1 is positive, therefore x1 is nearer to a than b. Therefore f of 3.5 is negative, f of 3.79 is positive, therefore these two have an opposite signs. The real root lies between a is equal to 3.5 and x1 is equal to 3.79. So how to find second approximation? So replace b by x1. So that is, put b is equal to x1 in the equation 1. Put b is equal to 1 in 1. So second approximation, x2 is equal to a into f of x1 minus x1 into f of a divided by f of x1 minus f of a is equal to 3.5 into f of 3.79 minus 3.79 into f of 3.5. Okay, therefore we get substitute the values. So x2 is equal to 3.5 into 0.00136 minus 3.79 of minus 0.5441 divided by 0.00136 minus of minus plus 0.5441. x2 is equal to 3.7893 is the real root of the equation. This is the second approximation. It are better approximation than x1. So correct to two decimal places we put x2 is equal to 3.79. So therefore the approximate root of or real root of the given equation correct to two decimal places is x is equal to 3.79 is the real root of the given equation. Okay, I think you may understand. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸರಿ ನೀವೇ ಸ್ವತಃ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೀ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಟ್ಸನ್ನು ನೀವೇ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಡಿ. You got an idea. Okay, next problem. Fifth one. Use regular falsy method to find the fourth root of 12. Correct to 3 decimal places. Answer. Let x is equal to fourth root of 12 or x is equal to 12 to the power of 1 by 4. So raise the power both sides by 4. Therefore, x to the power of 4 is equal to 12 to the power of 1 by 4 whole to the power of 4. Therefore, x to the power of 4 is equal to 12, or transfer 12 to left hand side, x to the power of minus 12 is equal to 0. Since f of x is equal to 0, okay, compare. Let f of x is equal to x to the power of 4 minus 12. We have to put x is equal to 0. Therefore, f of 0 is equal to minus 12 less than 0. It is negative. Put x is equal to 1. F of 1 is equal to 1 to the power of 4 minus 12 is equal to minus 11. It is less than 0. Put x is equal to 2. F of 2 is equal to 2 to the power of 4 minus 12 is equal to 16 minus 12 is equal to 4 greater than 0. These two have an opposite signs. F of 1 is negative, f of 2 is positive. So therefore have an opposite signs. Therefore real root must lies between 1 and 2. But the root of the given equation f of x is equal to x to the power of minus 12 lies in 1 comma 2. And observe, so in the regular falsy method, so the interval is larger, the difference of upper limit minus lower limit is larger. So to get the real root, approximate real root, we have to work out more number of stages. For that reason, you may make the difference b minus a is small enough, that is equal to better to 0.1. For that, you observe 4 is nearer to 0 compared to minus 11 on the number line. Therefore, the real root must lies in the neighborhood of 4, near to 4. Therefore, we check the real root for any two successive values of x have an opposite signs. Put x is equal to 1.9 in the f of x. F of 1.9 is equal to 1.9 to the power of 4 minus 12 is equal to 1.0321. It is positive. And f of put x is equal to 1.8. F of 1.8 is equal to 1.8 whole to the power of 4 minus 12 equal to minus 1.5024. It is negative. So observe 1.9 minus 1.8 difference is equal to 0.1. Therefore, f of 1.9 is positive, f of 1.8 is negative. Therefore, these two have an opposite signs. Therefore, the real root lies between 1.8 and 1.9. Since b minus a is equal to 1.9 minus 1.8 is equal to 0.1. So observe the difference. Difference of these two is 0.1. It is small enough. By regular falsy method, the first approximation is given by x1 is equal to a into f of b minus b into f of a divided by f of b minus f of a. Let a is equal to 1.8, b is equal to 1.9. Substitute in 1, we get 1.8 into f of 1.9 minus 0.9 into f of 1.8 divided by f of 1.9 minus f of 1.8. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1.9 ಇದೆ, 1 second term ಅಲ್ಲಿ make it as f of 1.8. On substitute the values for f of 1.9 and f of 1.8 already we calculated. So we get x1 is equal to 1.8, f of b is equal to 1.0321. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈನಸ್ 1.5024 ಇದೆ, ಅದರ ಬದಲು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ಅಪ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಎ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೈನ್ x1 is equal to 1.8, f of b is equal to 1.0321 minus 1.9 of f of a is equal to minus 1.5024. Substitute ಮಾಡಿ minus 1.5024 divided by denominator ಅದು ಸರಿ ಇದೆ f 1.0321 minus of minus plus 1.5024 is equal to 1.8593 is the first approximation. Once again pen ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ change ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನ x1 is equal to 1.8 into 1.0321 minus 1.9 into minus 1.5024 ಓಕೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ divided by 1.0321 plus 1.508 024 1.8593 is the first approximation. Now we find f of x1 is equal to f of 1.8593 is equal to minus 0.0492. It is negative, and f of 1.9 is positive. So therefore these two have an opposite signs. Therefore the real root lies between 1.8593 comma 1.9. Let x1 is equal to 1.8593 comma b is equal to 1. Second approximation. So here x1 is, just you replace a is equal to x1. To find the second approximation, put a is equal to x1 in 1. So we get x2 is equal to x1 into f of b minus b into f of x1 divided by f of b minus f of x1. Substitute the values for x1 and b. So we get x2 is equal to 1.8593 into f of 1.9 minus 1.9 into f of 1.853 divided by f of 1.9 minus f of 1.8593 is equal to 1.8612. So this is the x2 is equal to 1.8612 is the second approximation. So to find the third approximation, we need to find f of x2 is equal to f of 1.8612. Again it is negative, minus 0.00025. It is less than 0. And these two, that is f of 1.8612 is negative and f of 1.9 is positive. Therefore these two have an opposite signs. So the root lies between this 1.8612 and 1.9. So to find the second approximation, put x1 is equal to x2 in equation 2, that is in x2. Okay, we get x3 is equal to x2 into f of b minus b into f of x2 divided by f of b minus f of x2 is equal to, simplify this, substitute the values for x2 and xb. Therefore we get x3 is equal to 1.86121. Correct to the 3 decimal places. The real root of the given equation is 1.861. Okay, this is the problem 3. Next, come to the next problem. Sixth problem. Find the real root of the equation x sin x plus cos x is equal to 0, which lies in the interval, closed interval 2, 3 by regular falsi method. Answer: Call the given equation as f of x is equal to x sin x plus cos x. Just we show that root lies between 2 and 3. So for that put x is equal to 2 in f of x. Therefore f of 2 is equal to 2 sin 2 plus cos 2 is equal to plus 1.4024. It is positive. So next 3 x is equal to 3 because 1.40 is far away from 0. Therefore straight away go to the 2.5, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4 positive. So x is equal to 2.5 in the above function f of x. Therefore f of 2.5 is equal to 2.5 into f of 2.5, that is sin 2.5 plus sin of 2.5 plus cos of 2.5. Once then we get plus 0.69. It is positive. Put x is equal to 2.6 in f of x. Therefore f of 2.6 is equal to 2.6 into sin of 2.6 plus cos of 2.6 is equal to plus 0.483. It is positive. Put x is equal to 2.7. F of 2.7 is equal to 2.7 into sin of 2.7 plus cos of 2.7. Again it is 0.2098. It is positive. Next, x is equal to 2.8 in f of x. Therefore f of 2.8 is equal to 2.8 into sin of 2.8 plus cos of 2.8. Simplify, we get this is equal to minus 4.2555. It is negative. So we search the roots. So for real root, so for any two successive values of x, we get f of 2.7 is negative, f of 2.8 is positive. These two have an opposite signs. Therefore the real root lies between these two, 2.7 and 2.8. The interval 2.7 comma 2.8. Instead of 2 comma 3, we take 2.7 comma 2.3. Next, let a is equal to 2.8, b is equal to 2.7. By regular falsy method, first approximation x1 is equal to a into f of b minus b into f of a divided by f of b minus f of a. Substitute for a and b. A is equal to 2.8, b is equal to 2.7. Therefore 2.8 into f of 2.7 minus 2.7 into f of 2.8 divided by f of 2.7 minus f of 2.8. Now we may substitute for f of a and f of b. Okay, f of 2.8 is minus 4.2525 and f of 2.7 is a 0.24985. Substitute these and simplify, we get 2.7054. First approximation x1 is equal to 2.7054. Now you find f of x1. F of x1 is equal to f of 2.7054 is equal to 2.7054 into sin of 2.7054 plus cos of 2.7054. So we get simplify, f of 2.7054 is equal to 0.23664. It is positive. Earlier f of 2.8 is negative, that is equal to minus 2.555. It is less than 0, have an opposite signs. Therefore, the real root lies between 2.8 and 2.7054 in the interval 2.5 comma 2.7054. Substitute in the second approximation. Second approximation is given by put b is equal to x1. B is equal to x1 in the equation 1, we get x2 is equal to a into f of x1 minus b into f of a divided by f of x1 minus f of a. Okay, substitute for this. A is equal to 2.8, b is equal to 2.7, sorry, a is equal to 2.8, b is equal to 2.7054, and f of 2.8 and f of 2.7054, and simplify, we get x2 is equal to 2.69278. Okay, you substitute and simplify, we get x2, that is second approximation, is equal to x2 is equal to 2.69278. To find the third approximation, we need f of x2, that is f of 2.69278 is equal to f of 2.69278 is equal to 2.69278 into sine of 2.69278 plus cos of 2.698 is equal to 0.26. It is positive. Therefore, f of 2.69278 is equal to 0.2674 is positive, and f of 2.8 is equal to minus 4.2.555 less than 0. These two have an opposite signs. Therefore, the real root lies between 2.69278 and 2.8. Therefore, the third approximation, just you put x1 is equal to x2 in 2, we get x3 is equal to a into f of x2 minus x2 into f of a divided by f of x2 minus f of x1. Substitute a, x2, simplify f of x2, f of a. So we get the answer is 2.6814. So in that equation x3, a, once again you observe, x3 is equal to a into f of x2 minus x2 into f of a divided by f of x2 minus a, x1 is you write it as a. Okay, the real root of the equation, correct to 3 decimal places. x3 is x is equal to 2.681, or 4 decimal places 2.6814. Similarly, you may write the fourth approximation and fifth approximation. So once again, problem 6 is the transcendental equation. By regular falsy method, we found the numerical solution. So now once again, that problem 7. Find the negative root of the equation x cube minus 4x plus 9 equal to 0 from regular falsy method or by the method of false position. This equation, given equation, is an algebraic equation, that is order 3. So degree of this, that is third order or third degree equation. Therefore, this equation have 3 roots. At least you have to find one root. So they asked to find the negative root. So now answer. Let f of x is equal to x cube minus 4x plus 9. Put x is equal to 0. F of 0 is 9. Okay. Next, put x is equal to minus 1. We need to find the negative roots. Put x is equal to minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 and so on. For any two successive values of x, this function f of x have an opposite signs. So we may find, put x is equal to minus 1, f of minus 1 is equal to 12 greater than 0. Put x is equal to minus 2, f of minus 2 is equal to 9, it is greater than 0 once again. Put x is equal to minus 3, f of minus 3 is equal to minus 6, it is less than 0. So these two have an opposite signs. Therefore, the real root lies between minus 3 and minus 2. And this root is in the neighborhood of minus 3 because minus 6 is nearer to 0 than 9. Therefore, the root in the neighborhood of minus 3. So once again, you make the difference of this interval b minus a is equal to 0.1 to get the answer in 2 or 3 steps. Just you make the difference 0.1. B minus a is equal to 0.1. So go on substituting for that once again. 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2. Like this. Lastly, put x is equal to minus 2.8. F of minus 2.8 is equal to minus 1.752. It is negative. And put x is equal to minus 2.5. Sorry. Put x is equal to minus 2.7 is equal to 0.117. It is positive. So therefore f of minus 2.8 is negative, f of minus 2.7 is positive. Therefore the real root lies between these two. Okay, first iteration by regular falsy method. Let a is equal to minus 2.8. F of minus 2 is minus 1.752. B is equal to minus 2.7. F of minus 2.7 is equal to 0.117. By regular falsy method first approximation, x1 is equal to a into f of b minus b into f of a divided by f of b minus f of a. Call it as equation 1. Substitute for a and b. So we get a is equal to minus 2.8. F of minus 2.7 minus plus make it as minus. Okay, that is okay. So b is equal to minus b minus a is minus 2.7 into f of 2.8. Okay, a into f of b minus b into f of a. Substitute, we get x1 is equal to minus 2.7063. Just you draw a line. Mark a and b. F of a is negative. Sorry, f of b is positive. F of 2.8 minus 2.8 is negative. F of b is equal to f of minus 2.7 is positive. Okay, so x1 is between these two. But f of x1 is positive. Already we know, therefore the real root lies between x1 is equal to minus 2.7063 lies between a and b. Second iteration. So f of b is positive, f of x1 is positive. Therefore, now f of a and f of x1 have an opposite signs. Therefore, the real root now lies between a and x1. So now you find f of minus 2.7063 is equal to 0.0041. It is greater than 0. But a is equal to minus 2.8 and f of a is equal to f of minus 2.8 is equal to minus 1.752. It is less than 0, negative. And x1 is equal to minus 2.7063. Therefore, f of x1 is equal to f of minus 2.7063 is equal to 0.004. It is greater than 0. Put b is equal to x1 in equation 1. We get a into f of x1 minus x1 into f of a divided by f of x1 minus f of a. Substitute the values for a and x1. We get x2 is equal to, observe that, minus 2.8 into f of minus 2.7063 minus of minus 2.7063 into f of 2.8 divided by f of minus 2.7063 minus f of 2.2 is equal to, simplify, we get 2.7065 minus, so minus bit ಇದೆ, okay, minus 2.7065. The required negative root is minus 2.7065. x2 is equal to above minus 2.7065. Okay, so almost x1 approximately equal to x2. Therefore, the real negative root of the given equation is minus 2.7065. ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ x2 is equal to minus 2.7065 ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Okay, so I think you may understand. If you have any doubts, we may meet once again in the Google Meet. I will send you the link. Google Meet ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ರೆಡಿಯಾಗಿರಿ. ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಬರೆದಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಣ್ಣ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ನಿಮಗೇನು ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ಈಗಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು. ಓಕೆ, ಬರೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು ನೋಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಸಾರಿ ಅಥವಾ 2 ಸಾರಿ ಓದಿ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಮೀಟಿಗೆ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ 5 ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಹೋಮ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಯು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎನಿ 3, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು 3, 4 and 5ನಲ್ಲಿ 1, 1, 2, 3ನಲ್ಲಿ 2, 3 ಕ್ವಶನನ್ನು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸಿ ಮೆಥಡಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಮರಿಬೇಡಿ, ಇದು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಗುಡ್ ಲಕ್.